Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another pub quiz with your host, Dr. Andy. Every week, I host a pub quiz for an audience of more than 30 teams at Sudwerk Brewery in Davis, California. And now, through this YouTube channel, I'll give you a sense of what it's like to attend one of my pub quizzes. I've got a new lighting setup, and you can see that I'm in a new British pub. Hope you appreciate all the extra work I put into creating this pub quiz for you. There are 30 questions on a variety of topics that you should know something about. Topics such as history, literature, current events, pop culture, including movies, television, and music. There'll be questions on mottos and slogans. There'll be anagram questions. There'll be books and authors questions. There'll be questions on spices unexpectedly. And this particular week, and every week, we'll have questions on sports and science. So, grab your scorecard, any pad of paper will do, and get ready for this fast-moving pub quiz. 30 questions, starting now. No Googling. Question number one, mottos and slogans. Who uses the slogan, delivering for America? Typically, I read these questions twice, but you get them once. Pause me if you have to. As a reminder, question one, who uses the slogan delivering for America? Question number two is on internet culture. It's your first bonus anagram. What athlete never had time for Mario Kart because she was always putting on an offensive clinic? Her name is an anagram of the phrase clinical cart, cart with a K. Clinical, next word Kart. What is her name? Question number three, newspaper headlines. Born in Virginia in 1957, what veteran journalist and former morning and evening television anchor revealed this week that she had recently been diagnosed with a case of transient global amnesia? What is her name? Question number four. Oh, question number four is a tricky one. It's a 4 for 4. I'll give you a category and four items, and you tell me which of the items belong to the category. Most people get this question wrong. How about that? The correct answer is but four letters long, a series of Y's and N's for yeses and nos in the correct order. Here comes your 4 for 4 question. It concerns recent celebrations nationwide. Which two of the following are actual terms for a 250th anniversary? 250 years. Two of these are correct. Two of these are incorrect. Two are Y's and two are N's. You just have to put them in order. Here they come in alphabetical order. Quasquicentennial. You heard me. Quasquicentennial. Next one. Semiquincentennial. Semiquincentennial. Third one. Sesquicentennial. Sesquicentennial. Fourth one. Sestercentennial. I said sestercentennial. Two of those are correct and two are incorrect. Your correct answer is four letters long, a series of Y's and N's in the correct order. Question number five, film quotations. What film features the line, "Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave"? Name the film. Question number six, new category, bears. Bears in America. With a ratio of 1 to 1, what U.S. state has the most bears per square mile? Name the state. It also has the most trees per square mile. Because bears need trees. Question number seven, pop culture music. Although he died in 2023 at the age of 76, what musician is number 7 on the list of music artists with the highest net worth as reported by Forbes? You see how this works. Number 1, Jay-Z. Number 2, Taylor Swift. Number 3, Rihanna. This dead guy is number 7. He died in 2023 at age 76. If you're thinking of someone who didn't die in 2023, like Michael Jackson, Prince, or Frank Sinatra, then don't say that, because that'll be incorrect. Question number 8, sports. The Chicago Cubs recently handed what American League East team its 50th loss of the season? They're not doing well. 50 losses. Name the baseball team at the bottom of the American League East. Question number 9 is a science question. It concerns possums. Not how do you spell possum, but this. Do possums have opposable thumbs? Your options are yes and no. Do possums have opposable thumbs? Question number 10, Great Americans. Living from 1912 to 1982, was Eleanor Powell best known for her singing, her dancing, her aviation tricks, or just for being annoying? Tell me about Eleanor Powell. Singing, dancing, aviation, or annoying qualities. Question number 11, unusual words. What O verb, 6 letters long, what O verb means both to force someone to do something and to be grateful or indebted to someone? One verb starts with an O, 6 letters long. Let's see how you do. Question number 12. If you don't live in Davis, I don't know why you would get this, but I'm still going to ask it. It's a storage question. Which national self-storage chain occupies 1230 Olive Drive in Davis, California? That seems hyper-local, Dr. Andy. Are you sure that's fair? No, not fair. The pub quiz, it's hard. Question number 13, pop culture television. Which of the following is the name of a current Netflix docuseries? Best neighbor ever, richest neighbor ever, worst neighbor ever. Name the docuseries. In review, your options are best, richest, worst. Which is it? Question 14, it's another music question. It's about The Weekend. The Weekend, we all listened to Weekend songs while we were locked down during the pandemic. Do you remember that? Here's a question. Which 2019 hit by The Weekend begins with the lyric, I've been trying to call? Tryna spelled Tryna. Question 5, that's the end of the short round. Did I tell you that was a short round? 5 questions of 15 words or fewer. I hope you had fun with that. Now it's time for the anagram. Oh, this one is difficult. I don't see why you would get this one either. But you know, this pub quiz, it's trivia for smart people and people who can figure out anagrams. Question 15. What fictional character has actually been embodied more than watched on screen as portrayed by Martin Mull? That's Mull. If you're under 30, you probably don't know who that is. The character's name is an anagram of the phrase old matron's clue. There's actually an old matron in the movie. You also have a chance to embody an old matron. I will now spell the anagram. Old matron's clue. Old, O-L-D, matrons, M-A-T-R-O-N-S. Final word clue, C-L-U-E. I'll give you a hint. The correct answer is a title and a last name. Let's see if you can figure it out from the clues that I've given you. Well, that's the final question for the first half of this particular pub quiz. Hope you're enjoying it so far. This week, I'm trying a new setup where I take the papers from the quiz that I performed last night. Here they are. Don't pause because that had the answers on it. And then I use tape to tape them up on a box. It's a low budget affair, this pub quiz. See, here's page 3 of the pub quiz. And I'm just going to tape it up on this box so that I can read you the rest of the pub quiz. You don't have to watch this part. You can fast forward through it. I've got my professional lighting here. I've got my excellent pub background. And now I've got the rest of the pub quiz taped to a box. Are you ready for part two? Part two of the pub quiz begins with 5 questions on the same topic. If you know that topic well, you may find that your team has leapt its way. It's been vaulted right into the winner's circle. Now, of course, on YouTube, everyone's a winner. At Sudwerk, we give away fabulous prizes. If this whole pub quiz thing takes off, I'll have to decide what sort of fabulous prizes to give out. I might give out digital copies of my book, Pub Quizzes, Trivia for Smart People. I should come out with a new edition of that book. But for right now, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that you did well. What does doing well mean? Well, the team that came in first last week, 4 members on this team, they've won 3 weeks in a row. They're called the Tutus, Tutus, because they have dancers on their teams. As dancers get older, their brains shrink at slower rates than the brains of the rest of us. These old dancers are doing quite well because they got 25 out of 30 on the pub quiz. Can you imagine? This was a hard quiz. Second place team, I think, got 21. I know they got 21 out of 30. Third place team, only 2/3 of the questions right. That was the Mavens. They got 20 out of 30. It's a hard quiz. I might accidentally add bonus hints as we go because of how hard this quiz is. I hope you're doing well. I'll tell you the answers at the end. But let's move on now to part two of the pub quiz, which begins with 5 questions on the same topic. This week's topic is salt. Salt. Question 16, what's the chemical formula for table salt? Huh. Question 17, which sea bordered by Israel and Jordan is so salty that swimmers float easily on its surface? Name the sea. Question 18, starting with the letter H and ending with the letter E, as an elephant, what mineral is mined to produce rock salt? What mineral is mined to produce rock salt? Question 19, kosher salt. Is it finer or coarser than typical table salt? Finer or coarser? And then question 20, due to high evaporation rates and fewer freshwater rivers, is it the Atlantic or the Pacific that is the major global basin with the highest salt concentration? What's the saltiest ocean in the world? Is it the Atlantic or the Pacific? And thus ends our round of questions on salt. Let's move on to books and authors. Books and authors. Which apostle? It's a religious question concerning apostles. Which apostle is traditionally associated with the writing of the book of Revelations during exile on Patmos, and is also believed to have been one of the original 12 apostles not to have died a martyr? Name the apostle. What is his name? He wrote the book of Revelations. Question 22, film. Of the top 10 highest grossing films of 2026 so far, and I'm filming this in July 2026, 3 are distributed by Disney. One of them, of course, is Toy Story 5. Did you enjoy that? I haven't seen it yet. It comes in at number 3 on the list. The other 2 Disney distributed films came out at numbers 8 and 10. Name one of those 2 films. One of those 2. Can you do it? Question 23, youth culture. What 2025 film won the Academy Award for Best Original Song with the tune Golden? Golden. Name the movie. Question 24, countries of the world. Regent International was designed as a 6-star hotel before being converted into roughly 5,000 apartments. It's the most populated building in the world. 20,000 people live there. It's found in which country? Name the country. Question 25. Talented actors. First name Samantha. What Minority Report and Walking Dead actor appears as Cersei in the 2026 film The Odyssey? What is Samantha's last name? Question 26 is another science question. This one concerns fertilization. Hello. Starting with the letter O, which part of a flowering plant develops into a fruit after fertilization? Name the part of the plant. Question 27, books and authors. Where do authors come from? Where were they born? The authors Ernest Hemingway, Ray Bradbury, Lorraine Hansberry, and Shel Silverstein were all born in what U.S. state? You know who I thought was born in this state? Gwendolyn Brooks, the first African American to win a Pulitzer Prize for poetry. I saw her give a poetry reading in this state. Turns out she was born in Kansas. Question 28. So the correct answer is not Kansas. Question 28, current events, names in the news. Louise Lasser, who died this week at the age of 87, played the title character named Mary in a soap opera satire which aired 5 nights a week for 2 seasons from January 1976 to July 1977. What was her character's last name on the TV show? Question 29, sports. With 13 minutes left, Egypt was leading by 2 goals in a World Cup game, World Cup 2026, that Egypt eventually lost 3-2 to the national team of what country? Name the country. Question 30, a Shakespeare question. Question 30 is always about everybody's favorite bard, Shakespeare. Name the Shakespeare play. Which Shakespeare play follows its heroine Rosalind as she flees persecution in her uncle's court, accompanied by her cousin Celia to find safety and eventually love in the forest of Arden? Name the play. And finally, a tiebreaker. This is a Citizen Kane question. Hope you're keeping up with my weekly Substack. This week I wrote about Citizen Kane, among other topics. The question for the tiebreaker, which is a purposefully impossible question. It comes into play when 2 or more teams have the exact same score and are vying for one of our fabulous prizes. The question is, what was the production budget for the 1941 film Citizen Kane? All right, well, that's the end of the pub quiz. Your job, if you were joining us at Sudwerk, would be now to ask me your clarifying questions and then to submit your scorecards. I hope that you've heard all the questions. If not, you know how to rewind. Be kind and just rewind to where the question was that you didn't hear. Now it's time for the answers. Are you ready? Pause me if you're not ready. Great. On to the answers. Question number 1. Mottos and slogans. Who's delivering for America? That's the U.S. Postal Service. Question number 2, clinical card. It's an anagram for what athlete? Caitlin Clark. Not a hard anagram. Question number 3, born in Virginia in 1957. Who's that morning and evening anchor who now has amnesia? Her name is Katie Couric. Question number 4, 4 for 4. Let's go over those words. Quasi-quincentennial. No, I made that up. Semi-quincentennial. Yes, that means the 250th anniversary. Sesquicentennial. No, that's a 150th anniversary. I graduated from Boston University in the year that it turned 150. We had the sitting, reigning president of the United States, George H.W. Bush, as our commencement speaker. And then sesquicentennial, yes. So the correct answer is NY. Question number 5, film quotations. Why Johnny Ringo? That sounds like something Doc Holliday would say in the film Tombstone. Question 6, what's the state with the most bears per square mile? That's Maine, the state of Maine. Question number 7, pop culture music. Who was that musical artist who died at age 76 in 2023 and is the 7th richest by net worth musical artist around, or maybe not around, according to Forbes? That's Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett. Margaritaville treated him well. Question number 8, sports. The Chicago Cubs recently beat what baseball team, giving them their 50th loss. That was the Baltimore Orioles. Question number 9, a science question. Opposable thumbs on possums? Yes. They're located on their hind feet. Thumbs on their feet. Question number 10, great Americans. Eleanor Powell, known for what? Dancing. Question 11, what's that 6-letter O word that means to be indebted to someone? Oblige. Question 12, what kind of storage company will you find on 1230 Olive Drive in Davis? That is Public Storage. Question 13, what's the name of that Netflix docuseries, Worst Neighbor Ever? Question 14, what's that weekend hit from 2019? Blinding Lights. Everyone downloaded that song. Question 15, the anagram. Who's that person whose name and title are an anagram of Old Matron's Clue? The word clue is a big clue. Because of the game and the movie Clue, the correct answer is Colonel Mustard. Time for part 2 of the pub quiz. Here come your correct answers on salt. Chemical formula for salt, NaCl. What's that sea where you can float so easily? The Dead Sea. What's that mineral that we use to produce rock salt? Halite, Halite. Kosher salt, what's the deal? Larger and coarser crystals on kosher salt. You're learning so much from this pub quiz, aren't you? What's saltier, the Atlantic or the Pacific? The Atlantic is. Question 21. Who's that apostle who wrote the book of Revelation and was not martyred? That was the Apostle John. Question 22. Tell me the names of those Disney films that were distributed this year that are not named Toy Story 5. They are Hoppers, the one with the rabbits that you didn't see, and The Mandalorian and Grogu. Also, Devil Wears Prada too, because Disney owns everything now. Question 23. The song Golden came from what movie? That was K-pop Demon Hunters. Question 24. Countries of the world. What country has the world's most populous apartment building with 20,000 residents? That would be Hangzhou, China. China's the correct answer. Question 25, talented actors. Who plays Cersei in this new Odyssey film? First name Samantha, last name Morton, as in Morton Salt. I wrote this question and then I thought to myself, Morton, I better write some salt questions, which is what I did. Question 26, science. Starting with the letter O, which part of the flowering plant develops into a fruit after fertilization? That is the ovary. Question 27, books and authors. Ernest Hemingway and those other authors, they all come from what state? The state of Illinois. I got to see Gwendolyn Brooks give a poetry reading at the MLA convention in Chicago, Illinois, somewhere around 1998 or 99. Question 28, current events, names in the news. Louise Lasser was the star of what evening soap opera? Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Question 29. Who beat Egypt with 3 seemingly last-minute goals? That was Argentina. Question 30. Shakespeare. What's the name of that play where Rosalind flees into the woods to find love and safety? As You Like It. And finally, the tiebreaker, which I suspect will not come into play, but everyone wants to know the answer. What was the production budget for the 1941 film Citizen Kane? $839,727.24. Well, how'd you do? Did you get more than 10? You should know that everyone scores double digits at the Sudwerk pub quiz. The highest scoring team, 25 out of 30. Can you imagine? How do they do it? I think it's because they're dancers. Well, that's the end of the pub quiz. If you enjoyed this, give it a like. Tell me your score or your team score if you really had fun in the comments, and then subscribe because I'm going to try to share one of these pub quizzes every week for you and folks who love trivia with the Dr. Andy Weekly Pub Quiz. Thank you for participating I'll see you next time. Bye bye.